For whatever reason, I keep moving the sign. Do you know why that I keep moving the sign? Maybe it's because we haven't been here in like 3 weeks, right?
Yeah,
Almost.
Got to get comfortable again.
Yeah. Well, Ben.
Evan.
How you doing, Ben?
Good, man. How are you?
Pretty good. You know, actually not bad. It's been a while. No pun intended.
Yeah,
I
just got busy, right?
Flat out busy. You got busy with your job. I got busy, guys, with just flat out just boring mowings towards the end of the season. I've been doing some aerations. I did some hedge trimming. I've been busy. Once the fall comes in and my schedule slows down, we'll be back to more like a 10-day, 7-day, weekly schedule. But it's been a hot minute.
It has been, yeah, because it was still summer last time we actually recorded, I think, and now we're going to get down to about 32 degrees tonight.
Yeah, who do we have on? That was Evan?
We had Evan on.
Was that the last one, Evan?
I think it was.
Shame on us, and I know our 15 listeners were really upset that we weren't.
Well, that was a solid episode too. So I think
Evan
we left our 15 listeners longing for more.
I mean, no one said anything. The only person who was wanting more was Tony's Lawn Care.
Tony, yes.
And we
shout out to Tony's Lawn Care.
A shout out to Tony's Lawn Care. Is based in Savannah, Georgia. It's got about 7,500 subscribers.
Wow.
We'll see him down there at Equip Expo.
Lousville, Kentucky, right?
Yeah, So I think it's in the Savannah, Georgia area. So he's driving like 8 hours.
Nice area.
We're only nice areas. Jim Price from 97 won the ticket. Detroit Tigers would say no one knows that reference, but Tony lives out there in Georgia. I think he's got about an 8-hour drive, but we only have about a 5.5-5-hour drive. So, and then I got some VIP hookups with the Equip Expo. My brother's actually going down there for seminary right now, guys. So I'll be staying with him. It's super close to I think it's like a Kentucky Exposition Center is actually like where it's at. So
somewhere right near downtown.
Yeah, it's October 18th through the 21st. So I think I'll stay the whole time. Maybe I'll stay for half of the time or 3 of the days. If the weather's really crappy up here, then we'll definitely I'll be down there for more times than not. It'd be a good time to catch up with my brother though too. But
it's actually Louisville's actually a pretty cool town.
They've got stuff down there.
It's become a place I think for foodies and.
You ever been down there? Or
I have, yeah.
When was the last time?
Oh, it's been probably 4 or 5 years for work. I was on a project that was right in southern Indiana across the bridge from Louisville, and we'd stay in Louisville.
Well, don't you mostly for work though? Like you've been to Florida too, right? Or no, or
California.
Or is that leisure?
California
was California.
Where I spent.
What was that donut place that you loved out there in California?
Randy's Donut, right near the LAX airport. And if I understand correctly, they are expanding and bringing the big giant donut to some other locales.
Really?
Yeah.
Randy's Donut? Were they bringing it out here this way or no?
No, I think...
we're not big enough.
I think West Coast, there's some more going up in California. I think there might be one going up in Vegas. And they have the big giant donut, which... you were too young, but back in
I wasn't around yet, probably.
The early to mid 80s.
No, I wasn't even a thought, bro.
There's a song called "I Love L.A." and I think the big donut made an appearance in the video for that.
I love L.A.
Randy Newman, who does like all the, or he does a lot of like I don't know Pixar and Disney movie songs.
Does he really? Oh, like You Got a Friend in Me? Like,
yeah, that's him.
You got a friend. Okay,
but he did.
I love L.A. Oh, I think I know that song.
Yeah, it was a huge hit, probably around 1984.
Want to say yes, want to say no. But anyways, wait, before we hop into it, where else have you traveled? Because you're more of the wanderlust traveler than like, myself.
When, in my previous role at the company, I was doing a lot of travel. There was 2 locations in California I would go to.
Yeah.
Louisville, Kentucky, Gloucester, Massachusetts, Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. Wow, that's nice.
Shenzhen, China, which you'd fly into Hong Kong and then go across the border into China, the South China Sea.
Unbelievable.
Let's say China.
China's the greatest. They're ripping us off, guys.
China,
but
China.
We're awesome.
China.
Ireland, a couple locations in Ireland.
You went to Ireland?
And then Germany.
Hey, Ben is well traveled, guys. The farthest I've ever been out of the United States is Jamaica.
Oh wow! Is that a mission trip?
Mission trip when
Dan Buffman?
Dan Buffman. Hey, we used to have a youth
Coldplay. Can we
pastor.
listen to Coldplay?
We had an awesome youth pastor. His name was Dan Buffman.
My name is
and
Dan
he
Buffman.
Loved Coldplay. And he kind of talked like this. And he loved Coldplay and cheeseburgers. So we went down to Jamaica before we happened into guys. This is back in 2015, 14. We went to a children's home, which was a nice way to say that it was an orphanage, and we just helped out the kids for a week. It was on top of this mountain in Montego Bay area there. I tell you, in Amon, you talk about like hot weather. Like they didn't even have any. Okay, I didn't see any grass down there where we were. I mean, it's an island, but no grass down there. So I mean, we're up here getting ready to brace for 32-degree weather tonight. So it just amazes me. You know, farther south you go, the grass is not as lush, more brittle, and just hard, and it doesn't come in nearly as nice as we're kind of in the Kentucky bluegrass climate. Grass is much nicer out here, so it's kind of amazing. Farther south you go, yeah, there's not really good grass down there.
Hey, when it gets cold like this, like especially right now, you know, you're starting out in the day, and it's like tomorrow it could be in the 30s when you're starting.
Yeah.
And then it might get sunshine later in the day, a little bit warmer. What do you wear? You know, what's the proper attire for days like that?
You know, I've gone battles with trying to figure out like what to wear during the cold months, especially during fall cleanups, and then when I plow with my buddies, and it just figures out you really just have to wear a whole bunch of small, thin layers. So there's this company called 32 Degrees. They got heat. Long johns and heat shirts, so I just pile those on. So I'll wear a base layer of a shirt to long johns, and then I'll put on a different kind of like long sleeve, like sweat wicking shirt, and then a sweatshirt, and then I wear a coat too. It's a whole bunch of thin layers. Really helps you out. I mean, when you're doing fall cleanups, it will get pretty toasty and warm, and you got the backpack blower on, and you're doing a 2-hour job and walking back and forth, and it's still freezing outside. It does get a little cold. I mean, I was mowing this morning and it was about 42. My body was warm, but my hands were frozen. And your hands are very important. I noticed, like, even with plowing snow, first things to get cold are your feet and your hands. So proper attire in this line of business is very important. Let me tell you, a lot of lawn guys do not wear enough proper attire. I don't have to worry about that because I live in Marlock. No, but it's just, I see a lot of guys out there that just really don't wear enough. And my buddy Derek, who I plow with, he actually has like battery powered socks.
Oh, wow.
Like heat socks. So he says
probably a good idea.
Work out really well. And I might actually buy them this winter for plowing snow, because when we're going 20 hours straight, I do plow here and there, but I do most of the grunt shovel and snow blowing work. Derek sits in the truck the whole time, but then he'll hop out and help me too. Your feet get cold. I mean, we were out there -10 doing the finish center on 8 Mile Road there.
Yes, I do.
We were doing that at like 3 a.m. one time. It was like -10 and my feet were just numb. So proper guys, I say it once, I say it again. Don't be idiots this fall season and winter with dress like overdress and over prepare. So see too many guys just getting sick for not, wearing enough too.
And if you go in layers, you can always peel off a layer as it gets warmer.
As Shrek said, I'm an ogre. Ogres have layers.
Ogres!
So no, I'm serious.
For anybody that's looking though, where do you get this 32 degrees or whatever it was that you said?
Is Costco or Amazon?
Okay.
A lot's on Amazon. And I had Merrell boots that I was wearing for snow. My brother-in-law, one of my favorite brother-in-laws, Charlie, he works.
Your favorite brother-in-law, bro.
I thought Jason was too. Maybe Joey. He's my other brother-in-law. But we have to get him on. So Ben's brother-in-law, Jason, he's a CPA. That's the impression that we do. Solid dude.
I don't think it sounds really like him though. Do you?
What, Jason?
Yeah.
Love it like this? Yeah.
His voice is actually different than that, I think.
We'll actually have to poll the listeners, like we're going to be talking to Uncle Greg later on in the show. Ben,
you tease that early, yeah.
Ben will tease that, but we're trying to rope you guys in. But anyway, so like Merrell boots were okay, but I even noticed like their winter boots, they get full of water though. Like after doing it, plowing 15, 17 hours, and we don't get that much snow here, guys. Like we used to, like back in the day. Climate trends, the earth heats up, it cools down, but it's been pretty cold here lately.
Speaking of that, we're trying to get a local weather person on. We won't give the name.
We are.
But it's somebody that I think most of our local...
He was pretty renowned back in the day. So
our local listeners would know this person.
My investing friend, we were trying to get him on the show, but he wouldn't get on the show. Dave Johnson. He knows this local weather guy, and Dave.
I actually used to live in the same condo complex as this local weather guy, and I'd see him walking his big dog, and I'd talk to him once in a while.
Yeah, we'll get this local weather guy on to kind of debunk a lot of myths with like these global warming tree hugger freaks out there, which it's just climate trends. The earth heats up and earth cools down. Like look at like Florida. Okay, they got hit with Hurricane Ian, but it had been relatively quiet there for the past 10 years, right? There hasn't been a lot of hurricanes that have come through. So, but when we get him on, I think you guys would really like this guy.
Yeah. We tried. You made a valiant effort to get one of our favorite people on, and we kind of got the denial this week. You want to talk about Kyle Thompson? Yeah.
So I did try to get Kyle Thompson here on the Turf Nerds podcast. Solid dude, guys.
Undaunted Life. Undaunted Life is the podcast that he has.
What would you say the podcast is about, Ben? Like, how would you summarize this for like anyone to listen to?
It's geared for just, I'd say, being a better man.
Yeah.
That's the main thrust of it. But whole different groups of people that he talks to, wide-ranging topics, but I always find it interesting. I think
he's got everyone on there.
Very few. I've listened to every single one of them that he's done in 2022, and I'd say...
Weren't you backtracking, though? Like, trying to catch up?
I had to go back. But, he probably does 3 a week, and
man,
I'd say maybe 1 out of every 20 is not all that interesting, but the rest of them are.
More times than not, Kyle has interesting podcasts. He's a man with solid faith. He's a godly dude. It's a man's podcast, and he's got interesting people on there. So at the end of every podcast he always says, "Hey, if you want me to appear on your podcast, email me." So I don't know. I tried to lay my big cojones in the email and say, "Hey, Kyle, I know we're only like 11 episodes in. You want to come on the Turf Nerds podcast?" And I appreciate Kyle. He's just say he's kind of rough around the edges, but he shoots it very straight.
He's a stand-up guy, though.
Stand-up guy, shoots it very straight, knows his stuff. Hey, use this coupon code KC Cattle Company. Kyle, we'll pitch someone else's coupon code because they won't pick us up yet. But
they got the Wagyu hot dog. It's
apparently really just like steak hot dog. It's a tube steak hot dog. It's supposed to be like really good. I was thinking about doing it, but I haven't done it yet because it's kind of expensive. Long story short, try to get him on. He decided that he was too busy. He would love to come on, just too busy, and he just said to just wait until we get a tad more quote unquote established. I'm like, well, thanks for shooting me straight because he's really starting to pick up steam right now. So
yeah, I mean, he's been on with the Duck Dynasty guys. He pulls in a lot of big
Unashamed
name guests.
With it's Unashamed podcast with Phil, Jason, Al. He was on. He's good friends with John Cooper with Cooper Stuff podcast, and he had a couple of pretty renowned guys on his podcast. So we'll get him on later on.
Yeah,
it
was a valiant effort.
Bittersweet,
though.
yeah.
It was good to try it.
I tried, but we have someone else who's actually a lawn care guy in the Ohio East Canton area. I'm not going to give away the name, but everyone should know who that is. We'll get Tony on too during Equip Expo, but I'm going to try to get this other guy on from the East Canton, Ohio area. It's a husband and wife team. And so if you guys know who it is, comment. If anyone's listening at this point, our 15 listeners, comment who you think that I'm talking about. So, I think that
Yeah, you've told me.
Yeah. You've perused them a little bit, right?
Yeah. But definitely don't know him like you know him.
Oh, I don't really.
You haven't really met this person.
I haven't met him.
You've had a little bit of
we've had some dialogue though,
social media type of back and forth
through Facebook. He's a solid dude though, and he's actually authentic though too. That's a big problem is trying to find authentic lawn care guys on YouTube and doing podcasts. Cause you see this, like I've said it from episode 1 back in the day when we were at the different digs.
Yeah.
There at the church.
the old new digs.
The old new digs we were talking about. We're here just to be an authentic light and lawn care comedian. Hey, we actually work, which is hard. I feel like these guys just come into talking heads with promo codes and they don't work anymore. So maybe that's just me being kind of a cynic, but I try to shoot it straight. Yeah, bro.
Well, speaking about shooting it straight, we got a little surprise for
we do
for our viewers. Anybody who was around since about episode 3 or 4?
Yep. Oh,
it's
gonna be good, guys.
We've talked him up a lot. One of our favorite guests, Uncle Greg.
Yep. This is gonna be a recurring segment.
Yeah, we're gonna have what are we calling it? Grab bag with Greg or something like that.
Grab bag with Uncle Greg. Hello,
Uncle Greg's grab bag.
Yep.
Kind of get the weekly status update from one Greg Durbin.
Greg will kind of be like how Fox News, they have correspondents. Greg's our lawn care correspondent. You've already corresponded enough with me. Time to get and Greg's got the best dry humor. So it's going to be about a 5 to 7 minute segment. Greg's just going to shoot the cuff off the hip, impromptu, no script. And here it is.
Greg Durbin's gregariousness.
Hello, this is Greg.
We had to put Greg through the ringer just to get him on tonight, guys.
Oh, we've been on the whole time trying to figure that out?
Well, we did actually, you're part of the outro here. We did a little 15-minute podcast and kind of an update of what's going on because we hadn't done one in 3 weeks, and then you're going to be the reoccurring segment here weekly, Greg. So welcome. What do we call it, Ben?
Greg's grab bag.
Yep, that's what we called it. So you should feel honored, Greg.
Oh, wow. Well, I had a high school paper. I was an editor, and I used to call it. We used to call my column "Greg Durbin's gregariousness."
I like that too.
Well, that's probably we could call it that, gregarious Greg, in the
like gregariousness,
gregariousness of lawn care, right?
Of life,
life too.
Whatever you want to call it. It's your podcast.
Oh, well, we're trying to get more reoccurring guests on because we've struck it out with some people where they just don't want to show up, Ben, right?
Yeah, and actually your episode is one of the fan favorites.
Really?
Absolutely. Yeah.
On what?
What's that?
On what?
Well, the fact that, in a short time you have
it's probably the most viewed one.
The corporate life and started your own business, in the over 3 years now have been fairly successful, right?
No, I'm sorry. I mean, on what source or what like Twitter or whatever you guys are. I'm not sure.
Between all the different apps and plays, your episode's getting the most feedback.
Wow, that's funny. I didn't know that.
No, it's gotten the most views there and the most feedback because it's the most transparent.
Yeah,
right?
I think the top 2 episodes. So we had yours, where somebody had been in the corporate world for a number of years and started their lawn care business, and then the other popular one is a young guy who's 18 years old who started more of a landscape type business. So. We kind of cover the spectrum there, where you're never too old, you're never too young to get started.
Yeah. Okay. I think I saw him. He started out doing weeding. Is that correct or no?
Yeah. That's how he started. Like I think I don't know, maybe after his sophomore year of high school, and now he just graduated, and they're doing some pretty big projects now.
Okay, good for him. Yeah, I saw that. I did see that one. I wasn't sure if that's the one you were referring to.
Yep, that is. But we wanted to kind of just touch base with you and get some feedback on how the week in lawn care went and what's going on now that it's getting cold out and how that changes things. And we spent a lot of tonight talking about that with Evan and even going so far as to say how he dresses differently when it's weather.
Oh yeah, when it gets cold.
Yeah, today I had I always wear a tech shirt, a dry tech shirt as a t-shirt, and then I had a long sleeve. It was actually between a t-shirt and sweatshirt, and then I had a sweatshirt on, then my coat. It was a little chilly today. So, but dress in layers, and that's really the best. But I tell you what, I never really was a big fan of those dry tech shirts until I started wearing them, and I'm going, wow, these are huge difference, big playmakers. So they keep you don't sweat as much, it seems, or they do wick you out. So it's really, they do what they actually say they're going to do.
Yeah, Costco has the 32 degrees shirts, and I just wear like long johns and kind of layer up. But today was a blustery one. I think it only got to a high about 45, so it was cold. It was flat out cold.
And I checked the wind, and it was I think the winds were pushing 8 or 10 miles an hour, so it felt like it was still under the 40s. So
yeah, you're on your stand-on Bobcat mower, Greg. So, and I was sitting today. I think it might be even colder standing than it would be from sitting in some respect.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You are kind of keeping yourself a little warmer with your legs up a little bit, I suppose. But I did notice at one point, even though I had a sweatshirt on, that I felt like I was still getting a breeze. So I just zipped up the coat. I can't remember what kind of coat it is I got, but it's really warm. So, I should probably look it up and see what it is. So it's a nice coat, and it's got a hood on it, and so works out well.
Is there any temperature where you say, "Oh, that's too cold. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer in the day before I get started"?
It's not the temperature; it's the dew, and dew and coming up frost.
Yeah.
So, Evan, you've probably had the same thing this week, where you're waiting for the dew to dry a little so you can get out there and work.
We were both texting. Yeah, it gets too wet, and then the first hour or two, you're just sitting there, just kind of wasting time and gas mowing because it's the dew's so wet. It's like mowing through rain. Yeah.
Or you could slide, and that's causing damage. And but the cold, as long as it's not wet, I don't care about the cold. I can just go. You just dress a little warmer. I've got when the leaves start falling, when we start doing the cleanups, I've got lined pants, flannel lined pants, and those are really nice. And I was surprised at how much warmer they kept me. So, tell the guys if they're in the cold weather, they're just getting going. Those lined pants really are nice.
Did you have some like really warm boots too?
If I need them, yeah. I've got those are old boots. Those are Cabela's. I got those from them a long time ago, and they work really well. And if it's really cold out, I'll throw those on. But I tell you what, I'm really pleased. I bought some Skechers. I've been really happy with those. They're hiking boots.
Really? Really?
Yeah, I've been really pleased. They're really comfortable, and they've been pretty warm too. I don't know, 30s isn't that bad, but
no.
But I've been really pleased with those boots. They're roomy, they're comfortable, and if I have to hop off and walk around, I'm not fatigued by carrying heavy boots around. So hiking boots are really a good way to go.
Yes, the Skechers are awesome, and I'll be curious how long those last, because the regular Skechers, right at the start they're great, but then over a couple of months, sometimes that pillowy feeling that they give your feet wears down, and they don't always last too long. So I'll be curious how the hiking boot version lasts.
Yeah, I've and I saw it on somebody had posted it on those on the some of the groups that were on, Evan. Somebody had said that they were wearing those, and I thought, I'll give them a try. And I've been really pleased. I had a couple other pair that I'd been using, and what was it? The first pair I wore, they lasted pretty well. Then I couldn't find them, and then I bought another pair, and those didn't last at all. And I was really disappointed in those. And but these Skechers so far, they seem to be pretty good. I actually I saw them on sale, and they were a really good price. like $30 less than what I paid for the first pair for. So I went ahead and bought a second pair just to have them. So
once in a while, Costco or Sam's Club will have like different versions of Skechers in there, like, and you got to buy them when you see them, because if you go in thinking, "Oh, I'll get them next week," they'll probably be gone the next week.
Well, I got them on. I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Oh, go ahead.
I got them on Amazon, and the nice thing though was I was able to get, because I have a high instep, so I need a wide boot just to be able to get my foot in, and they had them in a wide, and that allows me to get my foot in there and be comfortable. And so that's really the place that I found them, because at Costco you're not going to find wides. You're just going to find the standard
That's
size.
a problem.
Yeah, just the generic size. Yeah.
And on that point, there we go. We're wrapping up this episode. Guys, subscribe, leave us a positive 5-star review, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.